Most people think burning fat has to feel extreme. Endless cardio, miserable diets, exhausting workouts that leave you drained for the rest of the day. And because of that, most people approach fat loss with the belief that the harder the process feels, the better the results must be. Video, you're going to realize something important. The biggest thing slowing down your fat loss may not be laziness. It may be friction. Strategy. 1. Walking, the most underrated fat loss tool. Most people underestimate walking because it doesn't feel intense enough. There's no dramatic exhaustion, no feeling like you destroyed yourself afterward, no huge adrenaline rush, and because of that, people assume it can't be effective. But walking has one major advantage over almost every other form of exercise. It's easy to sustain. Walking burns calories without significantly increasing fatigue. It doesn't require a gym membership. It doesn't require special equipment. It doesn't require you to mentally prepare yourself for a difficult workout. You can walk while listening to music, while taking phone calls, after meals, during breaks at work. The easier movement feels psychologically, the more likely you are to repeat it. And repeatability is what drives long-term fat loss. This is where many people realize they've been looking for the hardest solution possible while ignoring the simplest one. They've been chasing extreme workouts while sitting for most of the day. Meanwhile, someone else is simply moving more every day. And over time, that movement adds up. Daily walks improve calorie expenditure. They improve energy levels. They improve recovery. They improve overall activity levels. And perhaps most importantly, they create a healthy habit that doesn't feel like punishment. That's why walking consistently often produces better long-term results than workout programs people constantly quit. Strategy. 2. Eat slightly less, not drastically less. This is where most fat loss attempts fail. People become too aggressive too quickly. They slash calories, remove every food they enjoy, feel hungry all day, and then wonder why they can't stick with the plan. The problem isn't a lack of discipline. The problem is that the strategy creates too much resistance. When calories become too low, hunger increases, cravings increase, energy drops, and eventually the diet becomes emotionally exhausting. That's why sustainable fat loss usually works better through small calorie reductions instead of extreme restriction. You don't need to starve yourself. You simply need your body consistently using slightly more energy than it consumes over time. That's it. And that can often be achieved through surprisingly small changes. Smaller portions, higher protein meals, eating more slowly, reducing liquid calories, limiting mindless snacking. These habits create a calorie deficit without forcing your entire life to revolve around dieting. And that's important, because the goal is not to survive a diet. The goal is to build eating habits you can maintain for months and years. Most people try to win fat loss through intensity. Real transformation usually happens through repetition. Simple decisions repeated consistently become far more powerful than extreme decisions repeated briefly. Strategy. 3. Building muscle makes fat loss easier. One of the biggest misconceptions in fitness is that fat loss and muscle building are completely separate goals. In reality, building muscle can make fat loss easier. Muscle tissue requires energy to maintain. That means having more muscle helps your body burn more calories throughout the day. Now, this doesn't mean you need to become a bodybuilder. It simply means that basic resistance training should be part of your fat loss strategy. Push-ups, squats, rows, lunges, bodyweight exercises. Simple movements performed consistently can dramatically improve body composition over time. This is also where many people begin seeing fitness differently. Instead of exercising to punish themselves for gaining weight, they begin exercising to build a stronger body. That's a powerful shift, because strength training creates measurable progress. You become stronger, you move better, you feel more capable. And when people feel stronger, healthy habits stop feeling like constant sacrifice. They start feeling rewarding. That's one reason strength training is so effective. It doesn't just change the body, it changes the mindset. Strategy 4. Sleep matters more than most people realize. This is the part many people completely ignore. Poor sleep makes fat loss harder, not because sleep magically burns fat overnight, but because poor sleep affects behavior. When you're tired, hunger increases, cravings increase, energy decreases, and healthy decisions become harder. You've probably experienced this yourself. After a bad night's sleep, junk food becomes more tempting. Workouts feel harder. Movement feels more exhausting. That's not weakness, that's biology. This is why people often focus entirely on exercise while ignoring recovery. But improving sleep can improve appetite control, energy levels, recovery, and consistency all at the same time. And unlike extreme dieting, improving sleep usually reduces stress instead of increasing it. That's another reason sustainable approaches work better. The body responds better when it feels supported rather than overwhelmed. Once sleep improves consistently, many people notice something surprising. Healthy choices stop feeling quite so difficult because exhaustion is no longer constantly fighting against discipline. Strategy 5. Reduce friction. Here's what most successful fat loss strategies have in common. They reduce friction, because the easier a habit feels, the more likely you are to repeat it. And consistency beats intensity almost every time. That's why simple systems work so well. Walking daily, preparing meals ahead of time, strength training a few times each week, getting enough sleep, keeping healthier foods easily available. None of these habits feel extreme individually, but together they create powerful results. This is where many people finally understand what has been holding them back. They don't necessarily have a fat loss problem. They have a sustainability problem. The question is not, how hard can I push myself? The better question is, what habits can I realistically maintain long enough for my body to change? That question produces completely different results, because now you're building systems instead of relying on motivation. And systems work even when motivation disappears. The easiest way to burn fat is not through maximum suffering. It's through sustainable consistency, walking more, eating slightly less, building muscle, sleeping better, reducing friction around healthy habits. Those habits may not sound exciting, but they work because they're repeatable. And that's what most people misunderstand about fat loss. Your body changes through the habits you repeat consistently, not through the extreme efforts you can only maintain temporarily. Real transformation usually looks boring while it's happening. Small choices repeated daily. Tiny improvements compounded over time. Simple habits becoming automatic. That's how people actually stay lean long-term. Not through punishment. Through consistency that eventually becomes part of their identity. And once that happens, fat loss stops feeling like something you're trying to do. It simply becomes the result of how you live. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Elevate Human for more science-backed fitness strategies designed to help you move better, get stronger, and live at a higher level. And remember, the best fat loss plan isn't the hardest one. It's the one you'll still be doing 6 months from now.